Hello and welcome, people, to part 2 of Satan Cured My Cancer. Now I Wish I Was Dead by Richard Saxon. Satan had left me with little to no explanation. I'd been given a job, but no description. All I had was a box labeled Collection Kit 8402. Whatever that meant. The box seemed ancient, made out of wood with gold and metal strips covering the edges. There was a lock with a key already in it, which I turned to open it up. Inside there was a few seemingly unrelated items. A red handkerchief, a butter knife, a police uniform, and an ancient GPS device or tracker. A few unmarked glass bottles, and a crimson envelope marked for me. I took the envelope first, assuming it would have some instructions as to what I should do next. It was handwritten with silver ink. Congratulations on your recent employment and/or promotion at the Devil's Playground. You have been assigned as a collector. Below is a bit of information that may help you on your journey to ensure you remain safe during work hours. There are several important items in the box. Should they be misplaced, do not panic, as they will return to the box on their own. Should you be stupid enough to lose the entire box, it will also return to you, but in the most inconvenient way possible. There is a dental plan involved in the larger contracts. No one can say we don't take care of our employees. Never attempt to take on multiple targets at once, unless instructed to do so by a superior. Each item is meant for a specific purpose, and should only be used accordingly. Do not interfere with other employees during work hours. Should you happen to bump into another collector, simply ignore them and mind your own business. Do not try to summon the Dark Lord. He's busy, and he's sick of your shit. Yours truly, Lucifer. On the other side of the paper, there was a list of names, which seemed to be a mix of people and locations, and the correct item to use as written next to each target on the list. Feel free to complete this list in any order you see fit. Once completed, the contract will end unless otherwise discussed. Michael Finch, Greenfield Avenue, 54B, Butterknife. Silverwoods Prison, Cell Block D, Police Uniform. Walmart, middle of fuck knows where. Use the GPS tracker. Handkerchief. Don't worry about how to use the items. You'll know what to do when you see it. I had never heard of Silverwoods Prison before, but apparently it was only a few towns over, so I decided to start there, it being the closest target and all. I checked out the police uniform, and the tag was attached red. Wear me. I parked at the prison. There was a good view of the yard from the parking lot, but it seemed empty. It wasn't an impressive sight. Old-fashioned building, seemingly straight out of the 40s, with a falling roof and solid concrete walls. There was only one entrance. By it on the inside, there was a booth with a guard. His name tag said Herbert or something else, starting with an H. He was a rather large guy, but not the flattering sort of big. Ah, another rookie. Won't last the week, he mumbled to himself, not noticing that my uniform didn't match his. The layout of the prison was pretty basic. A singular long hallway led to each of the cell blocks. I entered the door marked D. 3 floors, each visible from the bottom, with rows and rows of cells. But all were inexplicably empty, and no guards appeared to be around. Perhaps that area wasn't being used, or the prisoners had just been escorted to the yard for some leisure time. In any case, it was convenient to my cause. As I pondered, I felt a gentle caress on my inner thigh, moving slowly upwards. I froze in my steps as I grabbed my thigh, only to find that nothing was touching me, but something had appeared in my pocket. A note from Satan. You see that isolated cell? Yeah, the one with the plastic drapes. That's a pocket into a different dimension. A man there by the name of Jeremy is hiding, and he has something that belongs to me. Get it, pretty please. Loose. I sighed, briefly, considering my own stupidity, before entering the quarantine cell. Immediately that atmosphere changed. And I mean, the actual pressure dropped dramatically to the point where I thought I would explode. In addition, it was freezing cold. I looked behind me and wondered how the thin sheet of plastic separated the two dimensions. It was simply a tiny cell, completely empty except with a bed with a sheet. There was a lump beneath the sheets, which would undoubtedly be Jeremy. I yanked the sheet away to uncover a skeleton, barely clothed in a prison jumpsuit, that someone had clearly defecated in, without cleaning it, for a few too many months. Luckily, the freezing cold had prevented the smell from getting too bad, but I still gagged at the whole situation. Clearly, Satan hadn't taken disgust for me yet. Lucky me. A pain shot through my chest, as if somebody was severely twisting my nipples. I grabbed at my chest to find another note. Loose again. Just letting you know that he has a key that can open doors. But not in the way you might think. It's not important. What matters is that you put the key in one of the glass bottles provided. Do not use it to open any doors. I already took away all of his senses, including his inability to feel temperature. Probably why he froze to death. Idiot. No idea why he chose to hide in a prison, though. His debt is paid. You may return home. Jeremy had made a deal with Satan just like myself. A man who made a mistake, and it had cost him not only his life, but the fact that no one would ever learn of his fate. I left prison. My clothes were covered in frost from the brief time inside the pocket dimension. The guard chuckled as I left. Didn't even seem to care that I was covered in ice. Out so soon. Typical rookies, he said, not looking up from his Sudoku puzzle. It was a long drive home. I had completed the first part of the job with little to no resistance, but something told me I hadn't chosen it by chance, and that the others would be far more complicated. While glancing at my rearview mirror, I saw something had appeared in my back seat, the wooden box, and a note on top. To my favorite new employee. Good job on your first quest. But don't head home yet. I need you to pick up something. If you do, I'll restore your most precious memory. How to feel happiness. You still have to finish the contract. But this way, you might actually enjoy it. I'll let you use the GPS tracker to find the place. Loose. It's going to be a long night.